Hello and welcome to the Fragrant Divide. It's June and I wanted to celebrate Pride Month by highlighting an LGBTQ plus owned brand. So in this video, we'll be exploring some boy smells, the candle and perfume brand, not the actual smells of a boy, which sounds wrong in many levels. So Boy Smells was founded by two, as far as I know, cis gay men who are also partners in real life. It started out as a side hustle, making candles, and has since fully expanded to other home scents and perfumes. I don't know much about their other products like their candles, so I can't speak about those. They recently joined Sephora, so now they're exposed to a much wider audience. They have quite a few fragrances, so I'll go through them pretty quickly. They are all Cologne de Parfum concentration, which is based on the numbers that they put in the product info, is another way of saying eau de parfum. First up is Marble Fruit, created by Frank Volkel and Hamid Mirati Kashani. This opens with sweet ripe fruits that make you think of yellow, but it also has this dark berry undertone with a lot of strong laundry musks. The mid is dominated by rose, musk, and hints of dark berry, which is not listed in the notes, so I'm inclined to think that it's the cashmere that's doing that. Maybe that's the marble part of it, where the ripe fruits are paired with something dark. This eventually pewters off to soft woods and musks. This to me has strong synthetics and enhancers, like ambrox, and it comes off quite sweet, to the point that it totally makes my nose sweat. I don't know if any of you have the same reaction to something very sweet, like for example, when you're eating chocolate, sometimes your nose sweats. And this has that effect on me that when I smell it, my nose starts to sweat. Unfortunately, I will be saying this 2 more times because there are 2 other scents giving me this nose sweat reaction. Next is Rose Load, created by Jerome Epinette. If his name sounds familiar, it's because he made some popular scents for Byredo and Wilhelm Parfumery. This one is oddly reminiscent of the rose mid of Marble Fruit. It opens fruity with a dominant smell of red rose and a dark berry undertone. The rose in here carries all the way through the entire scent, and it's joined by pink pepper in the mid and a bit of medicinal oud in the dry down. I do like this scent though, but it does come off a bit mature and slightly old school. I don't know if it's the texture of that pink pepper combined with the rose and the medicinal oud that's doing that. Next is Violet Ends, another one created by Jerome Epinette. I would say that this is the most unusual out of all of these. I'm not surprised at all that Sephora didn't include this in their store because it's the most interesting one out of all of them, but probably quite a hard sell. It smells of fermenting tobacco that is almost adjacent to overripe fruit. It's leafy, slightly earthy, and naturally sweet. That tobacco smell carries all the way through, with an ozonic violet becoming just slightly noticeable in the mid, and hints of clean smokiness in the dry down. This doesn't smell like an ashtray at all, or anything like that. Moving on, we have Flor de la Virgen, which in English means flower of the Virgin. The perfumer is Gil Clavien, and to me, this is very similar to Marble Fruit. And like Marble Fruit, it opens very fruity, like passion fruit, but it's much brighter and makes me think of the color yellow as well. It has a touch of soapiness and strong laundry detergent musks. This is considered a floral fruity, but I hardly detect any of the florals here. Again, just like Marble Fruit, something in here registers as no sweat-inducing sweetness. Thankfully, that eventually settles down and it starts smelling like the aroma of pink fruit juice. If Marble Fruit was a fruit puree, Flor de la Virgen is a fruit juice. If you've seen my not so common spring scents video, I featured Suede Pony on there, and it's also created by Jerome Epinette. What it is essentially is an almost candied dark berries with a little saffron, reminiscent of children's cough syrup. It's accompanied by a slightly nutty smell and suede around the mid and dry down, but those stay pretty close to the skin, while the fruity medicinal aspects are the ones that really project in the air. This is one of my dumb reaches. I wear it when I feel bouncy and flamboyant, but only on the inside. The final one from this set is called Tantrum, created by Clement Gavari. It is overall a green fragrance. The main thing here is an aromatic, warm green peppercorn feel. It's got an almost prickly texture to it. It's green all the way to the dry down. I really love green scents, and despite how beautifully green this one is, to me, the rest of the notes are unfortunately drowned out by an overdose of Ambrox and maybe some other enhancer. It makes my nose sweat, and it pretty much destroys my senses after that. Too bad because this is one of my favorites from the brand as far as the scent profile goes. If you two are also sensitive to some synthetics, probably try testing this the last because it might destroy your senses as well while you're trying to test the rest of the set. Although Boy Smells immediately released a different collection after this one, they just as quickly followed up the main line with Hinoki Fantome. Hinoki Fantome opens with a green watery smell, like honeydew melon. Immediately, you smell slightly damp woods and evergreen, and that continues until dry down while still remaining green with a little bit of sweetness and slight ashiness to it. I've smelled a few scents similar to this style, and I've never been a fan of this sheer, sweet, damp wood style with a watery undertone. It just puts me off for some reason. I can smell Hinoki Phantom on my finger, and it's actually quite a really interesting smell, like in passing. But just like Bois Imperial from Essential Parfums, though I enjoy it, I can only enjoy it for a short period of time. Like I get sick of it right away. And I feel like it's the same for this one, that in passing it smells nice, but like the more you smell it, it kind of wears you down and puts you off. The other collection that followed is called the Kush collection, and it focuses on the trendy note of cannabis. Other than secondhand smell, I have never personally smelled cannabis up close, and I'm not particularly a fan of the note either. But I think this Kush collection is quite well done and stay quite true to their names. I unfortunately cannot find any information about the perfumers for these. First is Cashmere Kush. This one is probably the most wearable of the three. It's mainly powdery, waxy clean musks paired with a medicinal note with a slightly grassy herbal undertone. And there are hints of sweetness in there. This really feels fluffy and comforting. Next is Italian Kush. You probably already guessed that this is a green scent. It smells like cooking herbs, specifically fresh basil, with a little bit of citrus brightness. Just like Cashmere Kush, this has a grassy medicinal aromatic feel. It's basically like walking behind someone chopping up fresh herbs in the kitchen, but there's that cannabis note that pairs well with other green notes. The last one is Cowboy Kush, which, unsurprisingly, is a leather scent. It's a varnish leading type leather that has both some dirtiness and gourmand facets to it, which is kind of weird, right? There's a little bit of texture on the leather and a slight smokiness. It has the same medicinal characteristics as the other two. And when you smell this, you immediately think of brown and cowboy and kind of like suede but slightly rougher. I find that this might be the hardest one to wear out of the three. Like I said earlier, I really like this Kush collection. I really think that they're well done and quite interesting. But I would be self-conscious wearing these in public, especially someone like me who doesn't actually know what real cannabis smells like. So this is what the full presentation looks like. It comes with an unnecessarily big box, and it's this style of box which I'm not a big fan of. And the bottle looks like this with an unnecessarily huge cap. Personally, I think that the cap is quite obnoxious. Out of curiosity, I googled some time ago to find out the reasoning behind the design of the cap. Supposedly, the founders wanted the bottle to express both male and female genitalia. And if you were paying attention earlier, I said that the founders were two cis gay men. I just find it to be so funny because if you look at this bottle and this obnoxious cap, it clearly you clearly know which body part the founders are very familiar with. These fragrances come in two sizes. One is the 65 ml, which is what I have here, They are priced at $98, and the travel size in 10 ml for $30. If you buy the Discovery set, there's a discount that comes with it. If the bottle looks familiar to you, it's because there's another popular brand that has a similar bottle, and that brand is Byredo. So Byredo is a very popular quote-unquote minimalist brand that come from somewhere in Scandinavia. And if you look at the two bottles, they're very, very similar. The caps are similar, looks like similar material. The clear glass is similar, even the shape. The labeling is similar. So you get the picture. Overall, I think boy smell fragrances are pretty good. They're very vibrant and they're not too weak or too watery. The pricing is not too bad, for 65 ml. All the scents seem very on brand. Yeah, they can get a bit trendy, but a company like this one kind of needs that. I am very much interested to get travel sizes of the entire Kush collection, plus Violet Ends, because I think that one is it's quite unique. So yeah, if you want to support an LGBTQ plus owned brand, definitely check out Boy Smells. I hope that was helpful in some way, and thank you for watching.